Dr. Grace Ayensu is the subject of this conversation. Grace Ayensu here is a proper medically qualified doctor. But somehow, this fraudster and criminal Ansansadeli, who the police are still refusing to arrest, I understand that the CID are very close, to arrest this fraudster. They put this fraudster there because this Mr. Sansadeli with an SS2 qualification, living SS as SS2, in his SS2 brain, says that he is advising government and they should put this fraudster on the national health insurance. I'm very sad about it because now how come that Grace Ayensu, who is still a member of parliament, who has not been made a minister, people think she'll be deputy minister of health, but that hasn't happened yet. How come that Grace Ayensu was not considered, but this criminal was considered, this fraudster?
Coco TVGH. Ope bibia wa santimem. Say news, say sports, say entertainment. Bibiara. Wa santimai. Coco TVGH. I'm telling you, ole logo. Jenny Egbe. Egbe your Coco TVGH. Baro bagba Coco TVGH. No size. Egbe. Gie.
This criminal here, this criminal fraudster running away, criminal with her Mr. Sansadeli, whatever they are, this criminal here found her way onto the National Health Insurance Authority board. This is the same board that Bagbin was going to chair. She's very lucky that she didn't get there to go and meet Bagbin as chairman. But this is the problem. This lady here is a professionally qualified medical doctor, practiced abroad, trained abroad, practiced abroad, part of the Ghana Medical and Dental Council in Ghana, delivered a seat for the NDC in the Sikado Keten that the NDC has never won. And I mean never, since 1996. Exclude 1992 because 1992, the MPP didn't contest. In 1996, since 96 till now, the seat has never been won. She contested in 2020, she came close, and in 2024, she delivered it for the NDC. Dr. Grace Ayensu is the subject of this conversation. Grace Ayensu here is a proper medically qualified doctor. But somehow, this fraudster and criminal Ansansadeli, who the police are still refusing to arrest, I understand that the CID are very close, to arrest this fraudster. They put this fraudster there because this Mr. Sansadeli with an SS2 qualification, living SS as SS2, in his SS2 brain, says that he is advising government and they should put this fraudster on the national health insurance. I'm very sad about it because look at the green paper. If you look at the green paper which they'll put on right now, the green paper here says that in 12.1, and maybe you can't see it, maybe you can give them this camera, they'll see it properly. You will see that it says 2 health professionals with expertise in insurance, criminal Ansansadeli and Dr. Zanetto Rawlings. Now, how come that Grace Ayensu, who is still a member of parliament, who has not been made a minister, people think she'll be deputy minister of health, but that hasn't happened yet. How come that Grace Ayensu was not considered, but this criminal was considered, this fraudster, criminal Ansansadeli was considered for a position like that, and Grace Ayensu wasn't considered? Maybe Grace Ayensu is going to get something else, I don't know. But it tells us a lot about the things that happen in this system. And I'm dovetailing this into going to have a conversation about something that the difference between government and opposition and how people should react. So the NHIL, National Health Insurance Authority document has a space for professionals with expertise in health insurance. Dr. Zanetto Rawlings was picked, and Dr. Ansansadeli was picked as well, the criminal, fraudster, criminal, blackmailer. She's just a criminal. This SS2 boy, who didn't continue because his grade point average was bad, not that he can pay for it, he can pay for it. And since then, he has not taken the opportunity after becoming an adult to read anything and get some brain in his head, and he just comes on TV to insult people. This criminal here, Mr. Sansadeli, who claimed and bragged that he's the reason why they put Sansadeli there, this fraudster, to do business. Let's have the photograph of Grace Ayensu and the fraudster again. I think that we should be looking at these things, and it's not partisan, it's not NDC or MPP. Grace Ayensu is a member of the NDC, but you can't take away the fact that she's a great doctor. Not great because she has operated on me before, great because of her pedigree. You can check her pedigree, you see it. And she is NDC. She's actually in green. She's NDC. But if we do the politics in a way that you have fraudsters like this criminal man sitting in America says that he's a SS2 guy and that he's advising government. Then they'll produce this fraudster here, and after weeks of the process, the police have still not apprehended her. In between the time her story broke and today, the police have actually apprehended somebody who was faking as a doctor in Kaswa. We showed you the story. Until the police arrest her, we would always remind people that this is what is happening. That this fraudster criminal here says that she's a doctor. She's not a nurse. She's not.
And we're not for or boys sikidie or boys guess or boys guess or the guess and you more no or be question the sim no yi na or boy there was all some catch them more try more say manpower no was what say be catch them
Jamaican say or boys back up
yes
ebi ni hobi
guess papa no
nina se wo pe guess na wo musafo no e wo me ho la safo na me ji en ye te bia me ji ne kwa eye power bi ta mechi koko aduro papa se wo pe koko aduro papa dia bra power ho koko president odun ene be ma power a wo dia power guess no me mo bi ati ase se koko president the also the better mechi the bobi ti dom ama metimi awi afu so akwawi
me ma die mu de etima ne kese no emu be edu
me si afu we oba bi a wo ba bi a jina yie
wo de be sra ho
esanse me me body pow
kese ba
die bi a me yire
ese me ma de be sra ho
die bi kan me ba
be sra ho mama de be mu ye
ye tutie koko afiwe ye tutie koko president wadia ye tutie koko
nothing near medicine, fakes as a doctor, and they put her on National Health Insurance Authority. Grace Ayensu is in Parliament, has delivered a seat for the NDC that the NDC has never won since 1996. They've never won it. And she delivers the seat. She's in Parliament. She's a doctor who practices at Airport Women's Hospital. People go there, they know her. She's practiced in America. I think her daughter is even a doctor as well. With such pedigree, they don't consider her because this fraudster here comes to lie to them, and they didn't know at the time this fraudster was lying to them that he has only a very minimal and completely embarrassing educational background, refused to learn as many people do. Some have never even been to school. They've learned since they were age 30. And that's why the University of Ghana has adult studies. University of Kwame Nkrumah University also has it. People don't ever get the opportunity to go to school. People's school fees are not paid. Their father cannot pay, so they learn themselves. This fraudster here decides that that's not the way to go. Just blackmail people with this criminal, and they find themselves on National Health Insurance. I'm delighted that the democratic system and the media system and the social media in Ghana was able to draw attention to the government. And I'm extremely excited that this is one of the quickest things that any government in the Fourth Republic did. The Callistus Mahama issued a letter withdrawing the appointment of this fake and criminal Sansa Deli, who should be in prison by now, to go to court and let people hoot at her in the court. When they are bringing her to court, they should hoot at her because she's a criminal. And the day she comes to court, we'll see all the other things that they do, fraud, blackmail, and everything. The state must prosecute her because she's a criminal. And next time he gets into Ghana, he must be arrested and sent to the court to deal with his contempt issues. He also is a criminal. To deal with his contempt issues. He also is a criminal. That's who they are. Fraudsters, criminals, liars. That's who they are. Now, I want to say something about the difference between being in opposition and being in government. And I'm just saying this to young people who are working with political parties. You have to understand something. That when you are in opposition, anything is fair game. You can say anything and you get away with it. It's fine. When you're in opposition, the presidential candidate, the leader, can give anybody an appointment and he doesn't need to show CV. He can give anybody an appointment, doesn't need to show CV. He doesn't need to show any CV. He can give anybody an appointment. So if you watch this flyer behind me here, this was last year. John Dramani Mahama, presidential candidate as he then was of the National Democratic Congress, was leading a Women's Day, Women Empowerment, Empowering Women for the Future, the theme. Very, very good conference. And here you see it. This is John Dramani Mahama, the president. This is Joyce Bauer, one of my very good friends, but we are fighting right now. but he was a good friend of mine. I hope we'll be good friends again, or we'll fight again and be good friends again and fight again. This is Ansansadeli. And look at what they write there. Dr. Ansansadeli. This was the NDC in opposition. In opposition, nobody is going to check CV. No, we don't. Nobody checks CV. Nobody cares. But once you get to government, then the CV becomes important. The criminal fraudster here represented herself as a doctor, and everybody accepted it. Look at the caliber of people on the flyer. Look at the caliber. Jenna Nopokwa Jeman, then running mate. Mrs. Kuma Odro is a certified counselor. This is our friend Prophet Odro, who miscalculated the e-levy and said that he had paid some humongous e-levy, and social media came after him, and he likes to say, "Tie," and he couldn't tie the e-levy. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. This is the Venerable Charlotte Osei with much distinction. We all know that. And this is Joyce Bauer, a qualified lawyer. And this is President John Dramani Mahama. On this platform, had this thief, called Sansadeli, thief, criminal, told everyone here, convinced everyone here that she's a doctor. It didn't matter. It didn't matter because it's opposition. That's how it is. She's such a thief that she smuggled her way into, I don't remember, I don't even know what she said. I didn't look at the conference. I'm wondering what she said, because she has nothing to speak like a doctor. As soon as she speaks, you know that she's not a doctor. She's a fraudster, criminal that the police should be finding. They have still not found. She managed to find herself in this conference. Fair enough. Why was she able to do that? She was able to do that because of position. Okay, so she convinced everyone here that she's a doctor. Now power comes. And then her criminal, Mr. Sansadeli, says that, hey, give me post. I have only SS2, so I can't get post. So give my post to the doctor. And the post is given to the doctor. But in government, you have to show the CV. When President Mahama appointed Mr. Tamaklo Eduji as the director of legal for the party, he didn't need to give anybody any CV. He just appointed him. But when he appointed him as the chief executive of the National Petroleum Authority, right there is a CV. Why is it so? Because the political party that forms the government, they actually take over the state. And the state has rules and regulations that nobody can change. So the state has rules and regulations that say, for instance, that if you want to nominate somebody for the Supreme Court, that person ought to have completed 15 years at the bar. If I am the best friend of the president loves me to bits, and he wins the election, and I have done 11 years at the bar, the president will not be able to nominate me for the Supreme Court. If he does that, Parliament will pull the nomination back. That's how government is. So that's for appointment and all of that. Let me have the photographs of the communicators, Chamima and Co. And I want to say something about that. That's for the appointment. You have to demonstrate your CV. And when the CV comes in, you see people are running helter-skelter all over the place these days. Tomorrow they say somebody is not a doctor. Tomorrow they say this. Then they change the appointment. This and that. Because they are in government.
I don't follow where there. Menya amatundra. Yes, I'm a bussy. Buddy. Hey, it was where it was. Na ene de ono ankasa aso won sam ka kire mo mema na diabetes ne pressure ama mbe ma tofom se tim no oso wo sam ka kire mo nti ama yanko
yo enya no adofo amatundra baako
ekowe
ya damas said deni na like more democratic any more time mo ko shey radio ko swing shram and so we bema na so we bema na da form tim keja diabetes ni pressure adokro wa match so wo spake crayons pakia how ko DC ko minister bia cause that issue any problem we anyom na tin for and one co president number 1
and crepa baby awu bia sa was guess sa body do mutimi nta
David
am da ho
kaka be ma dia ya pa na 360 oba be da won chempa na wantinya nya aju
360 so 360
ya pa na se oba be da won chen wa bo na ho ka em se se anwume no ka o ka so be di case
waje fried rice
56
waje pizza so ka
Enun wow share ye didi a drink ni de boss na aduane na sane free wanuma besi wa hase o boss aka we ni na na
wa ye aduana
Arewosem.
Obaka to agu.
Ubesu.
3 seconds.
Coco president. Uno.
Ese ti mo du mo ti yi amaman. Mo sisi mu da.
Edro na nyesa say ye hu let say ye bi na tem bia ye pese like ye hype edro no. Ewiase ne say adepa ne ton ne ho. Enna eye adepapa sunti no. Ene ye pese obe yare.
No wada ho.
Yes.
Abra so wo hu ye.
Enti me so Coco president onu a.
Ba ko pe.
Onu edra ne. Madam Asire.